This video is a little bit different. We're going to cover the subject of burnout when it comes to amateur astrophotographers. We've all been there at one point or another where you're just not as excited to get out and take pictures of the night sky. I've personally went through it myself, so I'm going to share some stories and some tips for how to handle burnout, and so hopefully you can avoid it and get out of it. So I recently posted on Twitter the question of, have you experienced astrophotography burnout? How did it get there? How long it lasted? How did you get out of it? People came up with a lot of reasons of why it happened. Some of them were weather-wise. They were stuck under cloudy skies for 2 or 3 months, and they almost forgot how to do astrophotography. It had been so long, and forgot why they're so excited about it. Another one was that your gear just keeps letting you down. You spend night after night troubleshooting, and you're just having a frustrating time where you don't actually get to do what you want to do, which is taking photos, and you spend the entire night basically wasted fighting with your gear. That can be really excruciating. Another one that was really common was that your daytime job takes up so much of your time and energy. By the time you get home, you're just wiped and you're not in the mood to stay up late and set up your gear and go through that entire process. So there's all these real life reasons why astrophotography can be shelved for a while and you just lose your inspiration. I've totally been there myself, and for different reasons, and it really scared the heck out of me when I lost a passion for this hobby I love so much. I've made a career out of it. I said to myself, if I'm not excited about this, how am I going to make videos trying to get you excited? So that was a brief period in the spring, and it was a really rough patch that I had to get over. I eventually did get out of it, but I'm going to share some tips that got me out of it, and maybe you can relate to it. The biggest thing for me that got me into a funk where I was just burnt out and I wasn't in the mood to take new pictures or create new videos, and it was largely because I was looking at comparing myself to other people and what they're doing, and their pictures I just thought were so much better than mine, and I felt like, you know what, I should be better than I am at this hobby, especially being in the public eye like this. I should be one of the best, and I just didn't feel like I'm there. I still don't. But the problem was I was comparing myself to others, and that never makes me happy. I have to do it for myself. The competitive nature can drive you to do amazing things, so little doses of it, for me personally, can help. But straight up comparing my images and getting into that mindset was just a really bad place, and I know now never to even go there because it just doesn't make me happy, and it's not why I got into this hobby in the first place. Another one was looking at the numbers and the stats. I mean, social media, you guys know how it is. You look at followers and likes and views and all these things, you become obsessed with it. And somehow, at some point in our brains, we get the idea that the number of likes or the number of views means how good something is, when we all know that's not the case. It's what the algorithm likes, or who's good at marketing themselves, who gets out there. For example, on Instagram, I have quite a few followers, and it's not because my pictures are better than someone else's. It's because I'm a familiar face. People want to support me. They've seen my videos on YouTube. So you can't judge these numbers as how good someone is as an astrophotographer. It just doesn't work that way. So that's another one. If you've been thinking that kind of stuff, just forget about it. That's not how it works. I remember when I worked a full-time job and did Astro Backyard on the side, at least I had the motivation of saying, okay, I want this to be my job, so I can justify killing myself staying up all night shooting these videos and these astrophotography projects. But if for you it's just a hobby and something you want to do to feel happy and joy, I can see how if you spend those nights frustrated when you really just need a break and you need some sleep, how that can really start to get to you, and you can almost start to resent this hobby that takes your time, takes you away from friends, and keeps you up all night. I think, taking long breaks is fine, being very methodical and slow about the way you approach your projects, and really giving it time and being patient, I think is the answer there, as opposed to just rushing it and feeling like you need to move faster. That idea in general for astrophotography, getting results fast, is always going to make you upset. You're going to have to really kill yourself to advance yourself in, say, a year's time to what someone else did in 5 years. I myself went really slow in this hobby. I tried to enjoy all the little moments along the way and not to rush it, but I know some people really want to race to that finish line and get these incredible images in a short period of time. I don't think that's a smart move, and I feel like that's the kind of person that does it for 2 or 3 years, gets really far and says, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done, I've got to the end, on to the next thing. That might be you, that's fine, but for me, this is a hobby I want to have for the rest of my life, so I'm going to take it slow and try to enjoy every little moment. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, the online community with thousands of classes on pretty well any topic you can think of. I'm personally taking another productivity class on Skillshare, this one by Thomas Frank. It's about productivity and developing good habits, and the way he discusses pain points and how perfect is the enemy of good. All these things kind of reminded me of this burnout process I went through, so it might be a good class for you to take if you're going through a similar process. Skillshare has classes on everything from animation to leadership. They're all premium classes with no ads. The first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium so that you can explore all the classes available. Thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I think the main message I want to give you in this video is that burnout, no matter what the hobby is, in this case astrophotography, is normal. We all go through it. Even me that does this for a living, I've gotten less excited about astrophotography at times, but it's so important to me, it makes me so happy that I protect it. And when I see myself going down a certain path where this hobby could be in jeopardy, my excitement and passion towards it, I really take note and change things up to avoid that, because I don't want to lose this thing that makes me so happy, and I really don't think you should have to lose it either. So pay attention to the momentum, and when you're starting to feel like this isn't something I want to do anymore, if it's not, that's fine, but if it's something that makes you truly happy, protect it and make changes to preserve it for hopefully the rest of your life. If it makes you feel better, I'll be here doing this for the rest of my life. Honestly, you're gonna see me on camera with gray hair, or hopefully I still have hair, sharing videos on this YouTube channel about astrophotography. I've committed my life to it. If I can get through these road bumps and all the pressures of the YouTube channel and still love this hobby, this crazy hobby that steals our time away from family and friends and our spouses, and we lose sleep, if I can still stay madly in love with this hobby, I think you can too, and I really believe it's worth it. If you're burnt out right now, change things up, find some inspiration, find something else to do temporarily, and then come back to astrophotography when you're ready, because it really is an incredible hobby, and I want you to stay in it. Remember why you started this in the first place, why it is so amazing to photograph a galaxy. That shouldn't ever get old.